Okay, apologies for the sound quality this time, but my stuff is needing to charge. Whatever, and this video needs to get out. So, anyways, I read 11 books in November, and I was kind of slumpy. Like, it was kind of, I don't know, hard. So, I ended up reading like really short stuff and like a few audiobooks, and realized that I really need to do my 26 books for 25 books for 2025. So, I did start hauling ass on that. So, anyways, these are the books that I've read. So, it was 11. So, we started with A Steeping of Blood by Hafsa Faizal, I think. So, this is a sequel that I was excited to get to. So, I found this at the store, obviously, and pretty much read it immediately, which almost never happens, but it was fantastic. So it worked out perfectly. I read through this pretty quick. This is a YA vampire book. I mean, this is the sequel and the conclusion. They did finish, so I was glad about that. This one, I pretty much liked it as much as I liked the first one. Like, I thought this was a very good, like, wrap-up for this. And just, like, generally interesting. And, like, I like themes of when you have to figure out, like, of like kids having realized that their parents kind of suck. Like yeah, they're people too, and they ain't all that in a bag of chips. So there was some of that in here, and basically just like learning about people's parents and people's dealing with people's like backgrounds and stuff. And so I found that interesting, you know, amongst all the vampire stuff. There was like, it's fantasy, but it's also kind of like there's science. So it kind of gave me like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde vibes a little bit once you get into certain parts. So anyways, yeah, this was a book of big realizations for this group. So I like that, and I gave this 3.75 stars. So then after that, I finished the audiobook of Twisted Game, not the Anna Huang one. This one is by Ava Ashwood, and so this one it's dark romance, right? And this one, like, I ended up not liking it that much. Like, I'm not gonna continue this series, but it's not like a bad book. This one ended up having sexual content that I did not personally care for, but I know it's not gonna bother a lot of other people. But this one, the thing that got me is that these dudes are like sharing one girl, but like they're also like watching while the other ones are doing things. Like, it's weird group sex, but with your family, and that's not a family activity that I want to read about. No, like, to me, I think I would have been fine if they were doing things with her separately, but not like this. I did not care for that. The drama was good though, so you know, if that doesn't bother you and you like messed up drama stuff, then this might work for you. But it did not work for me because of the sexual content, but the rest of it was like very interesting. So anyways, I ended up giving it 3 stars, but yeah, I'm not gonna continue with this. But yeah, this is gonna be for somebody, just not me. So that was that one. So then The Bright Sword, this is a chunky book, and it was kind of funny. Like, the humor in it is kind of messed up stuff, and kind of like they do quotes in the beginning of it. Like, this is an Arthur and the Round Table type of book, but it's like after him. Like, what happens after Arthur is deceased, basically. What happens to Camelot and to all of that. So this was basically like a ragtag type story, because it's just like the leftover nights, and they really are kind of like the leftovers. They get called losers a weird amount of times in this book, which I thought was hilarious. Like, hearing Merlin call these knights a group of losers was peak comedy to me for some reason. So yeah, like, there was just some really funny shit going on in this, and but I feel like it was very like, okay, now here's a section like of what's going on now, but then there was lots of flashbacks of everyone's backstories, basically explain to you what kind of loser they are. They your backstories. But then it also went to the time I'm like, man, y'all doing some dumb shit. Like, yeah, I was amused. And but some of it is kind of sad too. Like, there is serious stuff discussed in this book, so it kind of I thought it was like a good blend. So I gave it 3.5 stars. It is very long, and I don't know, like some of it probably was a little bit unnecessary, but yeah, for the most part. Anyways, 3.5. So now after that, I listened to the audiobook of Resting Scrooge Face, which, you know, it's just a little Christmas short story, and I just thought this one was okay. Like, it wasn't anything to write home about. Like, I wasn't that invested in this. I mean, it is a short story, so it's kind of harder on that end anyways, but I ended up giving it 3 stars. It's super short though. If you want to read it, just like go give it a read. I don't think from what I know, this is not Megan Quinn's like best book ever. I mean, who's gonna say that about a short story anyways? Like, I know she's popular though, so maybe give her other stuff a try. This is probably not the best way for me to get acquainted with her writing, but anyways, I give it 3 stars because it's just alright. After that, I finally finished A Soul to Touch, and this book's very long. I mean, all of these books are kind of on the longer side, but this one so far was actually, I think, my least favorite. Like, this one, just because of Mayumi, like, she's very pushy. She's very pushy, and I just think, like, I don't know. She was giving Predator vibes, especially at the beginning, and I don't know. It's just like she's just very pushy, and I feel like she could stand to be more empathetic and a little bit more understanding, especially because he's not a human. Like, it's a Dustwalker. He's not a human. You have to explain some stuff, and I don't know. I just didn't like Mayumi though. She was not my favorite human out of these combos so far. Probably least favorite. So there was that. And then, per usual, you know, these always end with, like, the Demon King, and, like, it's kind of a similar setup of, like, it's always, like, them, and then they find out that there's other humans with Dustwalkers, and then there's always, like, the Demon King at the end, which is, like, kind of putting a bigger plot kind of together, but you always get that, like, toward the end. But it's still an enjoyable, like, series to me, so I'm going to continue with this. But yeah, this was my least favorite, and I gave it 3 stars, but I'm gonna keep going. After that, I listened to the Home Sweet Holidays collection. I'm just gonna kind of group these all together because for the most part, I gave these all like the same rating. So like these, you know, they're short, they're sweet. Some of them are a little bit more funny, some of them a little bit more serious. I ended up liking You Better Not Pout out of these the best. So there's only 4 of them, and so that was the 4th one, the last one. I ended up liking that one the most. So some of them, they're a little funny. Some of them, I was like, what? And some of them, like that one I feel like was one of the more serious ones, and I kind of liked it the most. But I gave them all like 3 stars, and then the one I liked the most I gave 3.5. But you know, they're cute, they're short. Give it a listen. They do this kind of collection every year, and you know, there's obviously gonna be like similar tropes and themes because what can you do? Like, there's only so many in the romance genre in general. So, you know, some of these I felt like were kind of similar, but like they're also obviously different enough, and it's different authors, which I do appreciate that, like, we're getting variety in the authors, which is nice. So that part was nice. But yeah, like 3 stars. Like, you know, it's a good little listen or a good short little read if you want to go that route, whichever way. So those are those. But yeah, just nice little holiday books, holiday romances. And then after that, I listened to the audiobook of This Ravenous Fate, which I did not know was not a standalone. But this was one of the ones that I have on my 25 for 2025, so obviously I needed to get a go on that, and so I did that. I listened to that one. That one is vampires. This one, the vampires got made by science, and so there's like a lot of talk of a cure, of them working on a cure to fix the Reaperhood and to turn them back to humans, but so far, like, it's a whole ongoing thing. kind of in the background. But then we have one main character, I guess she's kind of a main character, who is a Reaper, and then we have another main character who's like a rich girl who's on the opposing side. Her family kills Reapers, so it's a mess. And she's into the Reaper girl, of course she is. They kind of had a friendship or had a thing, but it's messy. It's messy, and I was there for that. It is so messy. Like there's action, there's violence, it's messy. But yeah, I don't want to say too much more, but I was into it. Like there is commentary because it is in the 1920s, so there's commentary about racism, a lot of racism in this book. Like one of the characters wants to go to France to kind of get away from that, or she can get treated more like a regular human versus the shit they were doing in the United States, because this is set in the US in the 1920s, so it's still a very racist time. I mean, you know, so there's lots of commentary about that, which I'm like, oh, you know, some shit still has not changed that much, and it really should. Like, it's crazy when you're reading a book from the 1920s, and like obviously there's some shit that's different, but then some more shit hasn't changed. Anyways, so yeah, there's plenty of commentary about that. But I thought it was like overall like an interesting book. So I gave it 3.5, and I will be continuing because the second one is out, and so I do want to read the sequel that's out so far. I don't know how many books this is gonna be. I'm gonna read it and find out, or I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. Actually, I found that, so I'm gonna do that and see how that goes. And then the last book that I squeezed in on like the last day of November, I finished A Curse Carved in Bone, and like I think this got me out of my slump. Like, yeah, I was feeling slumpy all month, and this one I think finally did it. Like, I was so invested in the first one. Like, Freya's rage soothes my soul. Like, I don't know, there's just it's validating to me to see like people, like women, being very angry, like justifiably angry. So yeah, she did not disappoint in that department. She was very upset about shit that happened. Like, you start like pretty much immediately, I think, from where the first one was, and it just, I'm like, yeah, she's upset, and I get it. And people trying to tell her like to not be like, excuse the fuck out of me. Like, what? That's a relatable experience, but she has every reason to be mad. Shut the hell up. So anyways, I was just like, I'm there with you, girl. I get it. So I liked this. I still like this. I'm glad. Like, I think I heard people saying that they didn't like this one as much, and you know, granted, I wasn't as like taken from the very beginning with this as I was with like the first one, but it does start, you know, kind of basically at a like lower point in the story anyways. But once it got going, I was invested. Like, this has action, you know, the romance part does come back around and all that kind of stuff, so just, I liked it. So I gave it 4.5. It's still pretty high for me, especially because I do not give out high ratings very much at all. So I still really like this. And there you go. So it was an interesting reading month. Hopefully next month's gonna be better now. But we'll see. So anyways, I will catch y'all next time.